Over the years, fans of Dragon Ball Z have come up with some wild theories about the series and how it secretly represents the craziest parts of the real world. Whether finding connections between Majin Buu and World War II, discovering Illuminati symbolism in the imagery, or even going so far as linking Nazis to the storyline, there is no shortage of fans with way out there ideas. We're not going to go quite that deep or that controversial on this list. Instead, we're going to focus on theories that fans have about what the characters themselves mean to the Dragon Ball Z world. The personal improvement guru Wayne Dyer famously said that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Well, inside the world of Dragon Ball Z, there are plenty of ways to look at the story, the imagery, and the meaning behind why everything is the way it is. Today, we're going to change the way you look at Dragon Ball Z forever by delving deep into some of the most amazing fan theories out there. So get ready to have your assumptions tested and your reality shifted, because the fans have spoken and what they see will rock your world. Goku only beat Frieza because Frieza was lazy. Villains are notorious for falling short of certain victory because of their own hubris. From the world of James Bond to the Marvel universe, the cases are almost endless. The bad guy is sure that victory is certain, and then the hero is left behind to die alone while the villain ensures that the master plan continues unhindered. Of course, our hero is bound to escape and foil the evil plot at the last possible moment, proving once again that you can't keep a good hero down. While Frieza suffers the same fate as most supervillains, the fan theory here is that he couldn't be bothered to put in the little bit of extra effort required to ensure that victory would be his. In Frieza's mind, defeat is an impossibility. I mean, he possesses the skills to conquer the entire universe. We're talking about the power to blow up planet Vegeta with just his finger, and all without even leaving his first form or the comfort of his hover chair. That is power. But while Frieza is incredibly powerful, he refuses to put in the extra effort needed to ensure his victory in the Namek saga. But the difference between Frieza and a James Bond villain is that Frieza actually has the skills to conquer the universe, if only he applied himself. Seriously, the dude has several possible transformations at his disposal, but he chooses to believe he's good enough so he doesn't need to train. Instead, he runs his mouth off and Goku beats him. Acting like a genius underachiever or a lazy star athlete, Frieza sealed his fate and was defeated because he just didn't push himself hard enough. Or so says the fan theory anyways. What do you think? The best fighter in Dragon Ball Z is Krillin? This fan theory is the polar opposite of the Frieza laziness theory. Some fans believe that Krillin is the little engine that could. He is the external underdog that always seems to come out ahead, and the fan theory goes that he's just a better fighter than anyone else in Dragon Ball Z. Krillin is weaker, smaller, and always facing overwhelming odds, but he sticks in there. This theory is interesting because fans believe that it's actually because Krillin is so weak that he needed to become a much better fighter than anyone else just to stay competitive. While Vegeta and Goku got power boosts every battle just because they were born as Saiyans, Krillin had to work harder, train more, and be better just to survive. And he did a pretty impressive job of staying relevant even though he only had a tiny portion of the power of everyone around him. Sure, Krillin dies a lot and gets a lot of flack from fans, but he dies a lot because he's always in the fight, no matter what the odds. Fans of this theory love to imagine that Krillin would be the ruler of the universe if he were as powerful as Frieza, because just like the engine that could, he thinks he can, he thinks he can, he thinks he can. But even being as weak as he is, he still thinks he can, and quite often he sticks it out to the bitter end. It's Krillin's pure dedication to improving his skills that have made him, according to this fan theory, Dragon Ball Z's most skilled fighter. Goku could have easily saved the world by never arriving in the first place. Conflict is the center of every good story. The hero versus the villain, good versus evil, the savior versus the destroyer. And Goku is undoubtedly the hero. But in this theory, fans believe that if Goku had never been sent to Earth, the Earth would have never have needed saving in the first place. Crazy, right? Or is it? Let's take a closer look. In theory, if Goku had never been sent to Earth, Raditz would never have come looking for him. If Raditz had never come looking for him, that means that Vegeta and Nappa wouldn't have come to Earth to look for the Dragon Balls. Going further down the rabbit hole on this theory, Dr. Gero couldn't possibly vow to murder a child he knows nothing about. So neither the androids nor the Cell would have been created. But it goes further. If Goku hadn't been sent to Earth, there would be no Super Saiyans on Earth, and therefore the energy needed to release the Buu from his cocoon wouldn't have existed. So as the theory goes, if Goku hadn't been sent to Earth, there wouldn't have been any major bad guys around to threaten the world. But what would a world without the constant threat of planetary annihilation actually look like? According to fans, Bulma's brilliance would combine with the Capsule Corporation's power, and they would have had the time and intelligence to create a massive technological empire. Even the Red Ribbon Army couldn't take down the Capsule Corporation if it ever reached its full potential, or so goes the fan theory anyway. Half Saiyans are more powerful than pureblood Saiyans because of their emotions? In this fan theory, humans have something special that mixes with the Saiyan race to make them stronger than either race alone, their ability to feel strong emotions. And so the theory goes that being born with emotions make them more powerful than any Saiyan ever could be. If this weren't the case, then why would no Saiyan before Goku have been able to turn super? Because Saiyans are just emotionless killing machines. Remember that it's only when Goku bumps his head and forgets his stoic Saiyan ways that he begins to truly feel anything. And it's only the incredible rage he felt at the thought of having lost a friend that triggers him to become super. But it was a hard road for him to reach, while for the young half-breeds becoming super is much easier. Fans say that looking at the half-Saiyan's early age of turning super is further proof that these half-breeds are more powerful. And it's specifically because they were raised by humans, have human blood, live in a human society, and have been surrounded by strong emotions their entire life. The fear, anger, and love that they feel innately are all triggers for them to gain their incredible super strength. But what about Vegeta, you say? He's pure Saiyan yet still went super. But Vegeta is a prince and could be a special case that only exists once every 1,000 years. Aside from that, he grows more and more powerful as he begins to tap into the emotions he gained by living on Earth. So it's emotion that is the key to becoming super, according to this fan theory. And having human blood taps into this superpower much more easily, therefore making half-human, half-Saiyan people more powerful than either of their pure-blooded kin. Bulma's dad built Bulma's mom? What if the sunniest, friendliest, most loving character in Dragon Ball Z was actually crying out for help on the inside? What if the mother of the most brilliant scientist wasn't even human? According to this fan theory, Mrs. Brief being an android explains a lot. If Dr. Brief built Mrs. Brief, it would explain how she looks eternally beautiful even though she's close to 70 years old. If Dr. Brief built himself an eternally young android wife, the obvious question is how can she be Bulma's mother? Fans have this supposed paradox covered too, and it's kind of dark when you really think about it. It turns out that the evil Dr. Jiro kidnapped a human and turned her into a cyborg known as Android 18. But because Android 18 was a human, she was able to give birth to children without any issues. The saddest part of this is that the human inside of Android 18 is silently screaming, but her programming keeps her faithful to her kidnapper. If Mrs. Brief is a victim of the same plot as Android 18, suddenly everything changes, and we can't help but wonder what lies beneath her eternally cheerful, yet impeccably programmed mood. Those are just a few amazing Dragon Ball Z fan theories that change everything. Which ones are your favorites? Let us know in the comment section and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.